Notification.
All right, I see it. All right, what's going on? We are here, midweek special. Susie in the background making noise. I mean, it's just a typical great Wednesday American night with stock car racing. Fingers crossed, hopefully coming on here in the next couple of hours or the next 6 hours or before I go to bed. Something about that, we'll see. But here we are. Welcome into NASCAR By The Numbers. We're your host. I'm William Richard with NASCAR Opinion, and obviously we've got my man Armany over here, old Wild Takes Armany. Hey, I was looking at the starting lineup. Your boy, JHN, John Hunter, he's starting top 5 tonight or tomorrow or next week, whenever they run the Charlotte Alsco Uniforms 500 with the rain. Your boy's looking good.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, don't be surprised. He's putting Michael McDowell to sleep.
Well, don't do Michael McDowell like that. He's raced hard his entire 20 years.
Hey, I still didn't forget that last year's Daytona 500. Let me just say that.
Oh, hold on. Oh, we literally just got the word as we go live. The race has been postponed until 7 p.m. tomorrow. The live breaking news: the race is postponed as we go live to discuss the race that was supposed to be tonight. But anyways, let's get into it. We're here. We're going to talk about the darn thing anyways.
Hey, you all got to stay up till 1 in the morning.
Now we actually get to sleep tonight. That's good. So start things off. Obviously, Sunday was Coca Cola 600, and let's just say the race itself was rough. I've been in that race a lot of times in person. I've watched, obviously, a lot of those races on TV, and it was just a rough one. Long day, really couldn't pass. What'd you think about the 600 this year? It was tough to me.
I mean, I saw like maybe 33% of that race, and yeah. I mean, at one point, Bowman had like a 6-second lead. I mean, you saw like, Truex here and there, Chase here and there, all that stuff. I mean, the race was just which everyone who says that this is all the package's fault, you look at Jeff Gluck's poll. Last year's Coca-Cola 600 is the highest rated Coke 600 on the poll. Same package. So you can't blame the package as complete the package when everyone said it was a great Coke 600 last year. Because last year's Coke 600 is pretty darn good. Yeah,
I really wish I could go back and see some highlights because I just don't remember last year's 600 that well, even though I was there. I tend to forget a lot of times when I'm actually at a race. Because you don't see the highlights in person, or you don't see them on TV like you typically would. You're in person, you kind of miss some things. But I don't know if it was part of the package. I think a lot of it was the traction compound, which ended up being a terrible idea. And I was really worried the whole night about the traction compound because I told people, I said, from what I hear on Twitter and from people, you hear Pockers and they mention it, the traction compound has to be able to heat up throughout a run. Okay, well, if the sun's not out, which doesn't help heat, track temperature's cool, the drivers are too timid to go up there because, it's early in the race, temps are cool, they got to follow each other, they're going to lose a bunch of position. Is it ever really going to get worn in? And I think we saw that. It became a one-groove racetrack. A one-groove racetrack is bad enough. This package at times will be bad enough. And then if you add the two together, really rough race. And it was just, dude, it would grind my gears every time I would see Martin Truex Jr. doing everything in his power to try to pass Alex Bowman, and there's nothing he could do. Martin Truex Jr. is too good a driver to have it. Nothing he can do once he gets to the leader.
Yeah, like each leader was like what? Separated by like a second or two? It reminded me a lot of it was the 2017 Texas playoff race. It was just a boring race. Then again, every Texas race is boring as hell. But boring race, everyone was separated by like a second because no one could do a thing because of clean air. Like we know that clean air is like such an important part of racing. But my God, if you would have put like a robe on it, give it long hair, start bending on your knees, praying the Lord Jesus Christ himself, you might as well be clean air.
Clean air, and that's the thing is, I'm fine with the leader having an advantage because you've earned the lead. But if somebody in second or third or fourth is just better than you, it's BS that person cannot actively track you down, catch you, and pass you. That's what racing is called. It's not slot cars. We all just ride the draft for 3 hours and just call it a day. It's disappointing when you have guys that just a note. Right now, I still can't tell you who had the best car from Sunday. I can't tell you who should have won that race in terms of who had the best car. I know who should have won that freaking race, and we'll talk to hearing about that in a second. But, in terms of who had the best car, I can't tell you because we never knew. Whoever was in the lead looked like they were awesome. Unless you're Matt DiBenedetto, you just dropped like a rock. Every person else, if you were in the lead, took off and skyrocketed to the lead and could hold it for 5, 6, further into a run laps. And that's disappointing. But let me tell you, if this race didn't have any exciting points, well, it did have at the end. We'll save that for last. Your boy, what's going on? JJ finally gets a fast run. JJ finally P2, fast car. I mean, I was cheering for him. I was like, let's go, Jimmy Johnson. Runs P2.
He was your pick.
Exactly. He was my pick. I picked him. I had enough faith into picking him. And then your boy decides to get DQ'd after the race. What is going on? And how you justify this?
All right. So So here's Jimmy Tracker over here, midweek Jimmy Tracker. Like what Kyle Busch said last night when apparently some parts of his truck broke. Yeah, they're gonna have a real bleeping talk when they get home about whatever the hell broke on that car, the rear alignment. Just the thing though, and I found the stat out. Ever since his final win in 2017, Jimmy's had 6 top 5 finishes. Actually, no, he's had 7 top 5 finishes. I forgot this year too. He got one at Vegas. They've all been either 3rds or 5ths. This is his first top 5 since 2017. That wasn't a 3rd or 5th place finish. And he was damn close to win. That was the closest he's ever been to winning a race since the Roval. I was like, you know what? 2nd place, take it. We go home, stay top 10 in points, we call it a day. And then I wake up and I find out that JJ DQ'd, and then I was like, well, damn. But it's like, I mean, some of them were talking about like, oh, he's close to that. Some of them were talking like, oh, he's close to that cutoff line. Listen, we're 7 races. We're still like 19 races before the playoffs start. Playoffs aren't even like a consideration right now. We're not gonna talk about playoffs till like race 12 or 13 at the earliest.
And even then, I mean, Jimmy's running well enough that even if he's near the cutoff, I think they're going to be good enough to point their way in to begin with. But like I said, I think he's going to win a race at some point. I think so. I don't think he's got to worry about that at all. He's going to be in the playoffs. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just too early. I think we're 6, 7 races in now with however many we've made up. It's still way too early. We still got 19, 20 races until we worry about the playoffs. Jimmy's going to be there, but it's just, oh man, 2 bad parts. One is you had the restart where Jimmy just could not get the lead, and I'm thinking, man, here's a shot. Let's go, Jimmy. He's about to get that lead. He's about to clear for the lead some laps. No, didn't happen. It was over with. All right, and then he gets disqualified, but
yeah.
The good thing is that team in Hendrick Motorsports is on the right track. And I think the 48 team is getting better. They're going to eventually do something right. And, hey, look at it this way. Your boy getting DQ'd at a 2nd, it makes my guy move up to 2nd. So let's talk about it.
Your boy.
I've been in a good mood until now. To this day, 3 days later, the way I laid out, the way I did it on the radio, the racing spotlight that I'm on Tuesday night last night. I'm sitting there, and I had a gut feeling there was going to be a caution come out. I barely even watched the last 15 laps because I was just trying. I know if I watched it was going to drag on. I'm just going to look at my phone. The laps will tick off. We'll be good to go. We get down to the 5 to go, 4 to go, 3 to go. Caution with 2 laps to go. Hendrick on Hendrick crime as William Byron blows the tire, sitting in the grass. Of course, this had to happen. So all that's running through my mind at this point is Chase Elliott's not the best restarter. He's got to restart. He's got to have a great restart. Restart. He's got the lead. All he's got to do is restart, beat the 2 car. Nowhere in my mind did I think I would see that car hit pit road. And there I am on my couch, staring up. And there's the 9 car. Jaw drops to the floor as the 9 car pulls into pit road. And I'm thinking, What a stupid call they just made. And I just don't, people, you've seen it. I'm a big Chase Elliott guy. People accuse me of being completely 100% biased about Chase Elliott, but I try to call it like it is, regardless of what it is. Stupid call. Anybody that we saw did not learn from Ryan Blaney at Las Vegas and Alex Bowman. You don't make that call. So Chase obviously comes back out. He restarts 11th. He ends up marching his way all the way back to third and 2 laps. Not really sure how that is. I've understood all the arguments of, well, there was a bunch of laps on their tires. I personally believe if Chase stays out, at least 3 or 4 more cars stay out. I don't think the 2 car was coming down pit road regardless. There's going to be a couple of guys that are running 13th, 14th that are like, my only shot to win this thing is to stay out. And I think he would have – I mean, you do risk you run the risk of maybe Keselowski beats him on the restart. But the way I laid it out to people, I said – if you go to pit road or if you stay out, automatically you got a 65% chance to win the race because you're the leader. You control the restart. You really only have to hold the lead for a lap and a half. You got to beat them through 1 and 2, and for a lap and a half, just don't make a mistake. Chase Elliott's good enough not to do that. You got like a 60% chance to win this race. Even if every other person had fresh tires, you're in the lead. You control the restart. Once you go down pit roads, you got about a 10% chance, probably less than that, to win the race. So you just threw 50 to 60% chance away to win the race just because you wanted fresh tires. And it's just, I'm just thinking, like, how could you make this move? And I'm convinced people remember the infamous time that Mark Martin pit on the white flag lap and lost at Bristol. If anybody in the Cup Series was to ever do that today, it will be Chase Elliott because Alan Gustafson will say, hey, the race is over, bud, bring it down pit road. It's just, oh, dude, I couldn't believe it, man. What'd you think about it when you saw – I haven't gotten your opinion on this. Me and you actually have not talked about this, but what'd you think when that whole scenario played out?
All right, so thankfully I was home when this happened. I was like, okay, 3 to go, 5 to go, 4 to go, 3 to go, 2 to go, and 2 to go. William Byron. I just saw the yellow, and I was like, holy shit, we got a caution. And I see William Byron, and I'm like, damn, I just started laughing, honestly, when that happened. So, and then I was like, okay, Chase Elliott ain't pitting. And when that caution came out, I knew Chase Elliott was going to lose, whether he stayed out or whether he pitted, because of 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a restart, and number 2, it's Chase Elliott. I don't think you could put 2 and 2 together. Chase Elliott and a restart. Hey, Chase Elliott and a restart is like – Chase Elliott restarts is like, I'm trying to think of an analogy.
He's exactly like
Chase Elliott. No, I got it. I got it. For Formula One reference, Chase Elliott and restarts is like Nico Hulkenberg and a F1 podium. They just don't go together. So it's like I knew he was going to lose either way, but I was like, okay, he's in first. It's like, oh, everyone's going to pit behind. Like, listen, if you're in the top 5, you're not going to pit. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Kevin Harvick or Kyle Busch. You're not going to pit if you're in the top 5. That just ain't going to happen. You got 2 good track positions to make that happen. So when Alan Gustafson pit, and when it was like, I just looked at it, I was like, are you dumb? It's like,
dude, it was just, man.
People crap on Greg Ives all the time for Alex Bowman. I've never seen Greg Ives do something like that.
Yeah, it's just, dude, Gustafson has made a lot of questionable calls. I've seen him throw races away. And this is, he had 1 year with Mark Martin that I forgot about that he by definition, he competed for the championship, even though Jimmy had already smoked him. But that's why he's struggled to really run for a title is they make stupid, boneheaded strategy moves. There's probably been 3 or 4 races that Chase could have won by now. And Alan Gustafson either just picks some boneheaded strategy, they make this call, they're basing their calls off of what the 21 car did. It's like, what are you doing? But, hey, it is what it is. They can't all be geniuses. I mean, if they had me on top of the box, we'd probably win half the races on the schedule. But, that's just never going to happen. I don't get paid the big dollars like that. But, hey, Chase Elliott did slightly redeem himself. Let's get off of that spicy topic before I continue to wish for a crew chief change on the 9 box. Old Bounty Hunter was out last night. And as I like to phrase it, the best young driver in NASCAR went to work and won the $100,000 for charity bonus by beating Kyle Busch. Mr. Chase Elliott goes to victory lane in the Gander Outdoor Truck Series at Charlotte. What'd you think about that?
Yeah. If only he could do it during the 600.
Hey. Man. Right now, he's really good at winning races that don't necessarily matter.
Hey, I mean, I didn't get to see the race because, I was working because, why the hell would I be able to watch a race, once in my life unless it's midweek? But anyway, so, I mean, I saw, yeah, I pretty much saw none of the races. I was very interested in seeing. I saw, like, a lot of notifications. Zane Smith, from what I've seen, from what I've ever seen, he was running up there in, like, the top 5. He was competing with Kyle Busch. He was competing with Chase Elliott. So, Zane Smith, he was a –
Zane Smith is a sneaky guy to watch out for. He's a sneaky guy to watch out for. Remember, he ran part-time last year for Junior Motorsports. I think there's still a little bit of connection there. Zane Smith is a talented race car driver. He's going to make the playoffs in the trucks this year and compete for that title. And I would not be surprised in another year or two we see him back at Junior Motorsports, maybe full-time. Maybe if like a Gregson goes or an Al Geyer retires or Michael Annett finally steps to the side like he needed to do a few years ago. I think we could see Zane Smith slip into another a good Xfinity ride. He's a good driver.
I think if anything like happens, it's going to be Chastain goes to the 42, and they put Zane Smith in the 10 if Colin wants to stay at two-car operation.
Yeah, which we could say. You never know. And I don't know.
Or
I think Colleague's an RCR affiliation right now.
They are. Or they stay a one-car operation, the Xfinity, but then they also move to Cup with Justin Haley, and they put Zane Smith in the 11.
There you go.
Remember, they ran at Daytona.
But I thought, Zane's good and Colleague's good. They've got a lot of way to go, though. But really cool, though. What'd you think about the bounty program? I thought it was just a really smart idea from the beginning. I hope we see some more stuff like this. This is some things that need to happen in NASCAR when you've got just drivers that are whipping people's tails right now.
Yeah, I like the bounty idea. It was a really nice idea. So, I wasn't a fan of, everyone like, oh, Kyle Busch. Like, yeah, they say that Kyle Busch is so unstoppable. It was like, yeah, because everyone else in the field is like way less experienced than him. But, that's a debate for another day. But I like the bounty idea. I kind of wish, it was more towards, then again, what was it, Stuart Friesen and like his team, they offer $50,000 to any Truck Series regular that could be Kyle Busch. So it brought a level of intrigueness to the Truck Series that, we haven't seen in God knows how long. Even like back to like, well, like I haven't. When was the last time the Truck Series was even that interesting with the bounty before the bounty?
The Truck Series is always interesting, but from a standpoint of getting people that are just dedicated to the Cup Series to watch it, it's been a while. That's the reason a lot of people watched that race last night. I was going to watch it regardless, but I made sure I watched it when I remembered that the bounty was on. So I thought that was really cool. Anytime you've got two of the most popular drivers in the sport running, that's going to draw some eyeballs. And it also was down to those two drivers. It would have been cool to see Kyle get a little bit closer, really give Chase a battle for that win, see if they kind of got into it or anything. And then Mr. Chase Elliott, everybody, I heard someone tell me he's got the personality of a sweet potato. Hits the Kyle Busch bow after he takes home the bounty. Come on. It doesn't get any better than that. That better be a T-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like the T-shirts when Chase Elliott gave him the old bird.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started.
We know you like. We know your opinion about those shirts. Yeah, we know you love those shirts.
Oh God, I'm not ordering one. But anyways, so let's get to the last concrete thing we got to do tonight, and that is now that we know the race is moving to tomorrow. It doesn't really change my pick, but I'm gonna let you go first because I think you went first last week as well. And who do you have winning the Alsco Uniforms 500, which is only 312 miles at 208 laps? Who's going to win at Charlotte tomorrow night?
I picked to win tomorrow. Who's my pick going to be? All my picks so far have been a Chevy driver, and you know what? I'm going to diverge from the Chevy camp a little bit as much as I really don't want to. But you know what? I'm going to go with the 19. MTJ goes back to victory lane at Charlotte.
Oh, Martin Truex Jr., not a bad pick. My driver is that I'm picking. Well, I don't even really like this guy, to be honest with you. All right. But he's the best young driver in the sport, and there's nothing you can do about it. Chase Elliott is finally going to win a Cup race in 2020, and he is going to take home Charlotte, the Alsco Uniforms 500. tomorrow night at Charlotte. Here's my justification why. I really, really wanted to pick Bowman too. Bowman is, I think, a great pick for tomorrow because he's starting on the front row. And this race is 208 laps, literally almost half the distance that we saw the 600. So that's a huge thing to know. Very, very short race. But Chase, I thought about it. I tweeted about it before we got on here. Chase Elliott is one of the best peaks he's ever had in his career at this point. So, Chase is, look at what he's done the last few weeks since we've been back. He's been in competition to win every single race. Arguably should have won 2 of the races. Wins the truck race. He's clicking, and that's why I think it's finally going to work. Chase Elliott's going to get a little bit of cup redemption tomorrow night, and we'll see the old 9-car in victory lane. What do you think about that? And, of course, how fitting you have a story game box. And,
go
ahead.
I will say ones to watch are definitely going to be like Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, obviously.
Oh, looks like Armany came out of here. Well, I don't see him. Hopefully we'll get Armany back here in a second. He must have had some bad connection or hit something on his phone. Ironic that he does have the sorry board game in the back of his car as the race does get rained out. I'll give him a couple more seconds, see if he's still on here or not. I don't know if he'll be able to come back on or not. We'll see. But hold on. Do we have him? We've got him back.
My internet done died.
All right, what was you going to say?
I was going to say, 1-1, not going to lie, for like a good 2-3 minutes there, my internet was just laggy like hell. I was trying to fix that, and then it just gave out.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, hey, how about your boy tomorrow night with the best track position of the night, Jimmy Johnson rolling off P40?
Hey, me and my dad, rest his soul, me and my dad, we used to have this saying. Every time Jimmy Johnson started last, we were like, okay, that pretty much guarantees him the win. Those are Homestead, 1-7. Dover, his last win. 7 or 8 of his most recent wins, he started in dead last.
I remember that. I was like, I would see that Jimmy would crash or they'd fail. I said, well, he just won the race. He just won the race. But anyways.
His car.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy doesn't care about with starting position, doesn't care that much anymore anyways. I'm not gonna, that's another rant for another day, but let's go ahead and roll out here. The last thing I wanted to announce is World Racing Media. We're going to add another show, hopefully this weekend we'll be able to. I've dabbled in doing podcasts, and I'll just be honest, a lot of times it's just been me not being consistent, not being reliable on it. I've done the NASCAR back in the past, which I'm sure on SoundCloud you can go find those hilarious bits of NASCAR information. On Spotify, you can still see the Opie show. Ever since the pandemic, just things changed, and obviously racing wasn't going on. I feel like paying for a platform that I'm not using while racing's not going on. And I figured I've just always kept it too complex, so I'm going to keep it simple. And I'm going to start doing NASCAR Opinion Live on Sunday evenings. I'm going to mess with either 7 or 8 o'clock. I plan on doing it whether the race is Sunday night. I'll talk to you during the race. We'll talk about the race together. Very rarely happens, but that'll happen. If the race is Sunday afternoon, hopefully the race will be over. We'll be able to talk to you about the race, what we saw. If the race was on Saturday, obviously I'll be a day later talking to people. But just NASCAR Opinion Live, talking about the races that we've had. I'm going to try to have an opinion of the week, things like that. And hopefully when we get back to normal, maybe we'll have some race picks. But those can be a little hard when you're trying to pick a week ahead of time. So I'm going to try to do that here on World Racing Media Sunday evenings. Hopefully keep Armani's crazy opinions off of that sucker just because, he's out there, folks. He's got a Brandon Jones hat on.
You need any proof of my crazy predictions? Just go back and watch NASCAR by the numbers from last season around the time of the round of 12, and you'll find out why I bought this hat.
Yeah, you will. But anyways, folks, that's all I've got on money. You got anything?
I got nothing. I hope my internet doesn't die on me this time. I might start using my hotspot more often.
Yeah, there we go. Well, other than that, we're going to get out of here. Unfortunately, we won't get racing until tomorrow. I'll be around at NASCAR_opinion. Obviously, at Velocity XTC, whatever that's supposed to mean. I like the name, though, so I stick with it. I don't know if saying,
if you know what it means, then I'm not going to say just because, YouTube can, be like, drugs or whatever.
Oh, God. I don't know if I want to know what that means, folks. But anyways, we're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody listening. We're going to be active on Twitter all the time. So until next time, probably this coming up Sunday, hopefully we'll be seeing something at Bristol before the race. We'll see you then. See ya.
All right.